Over the top with Chad and Tony, talking about new movies and wrestling. I might just drop the team hating on me, team. DJ keeps the party going. Brandon E brings the heat. We don't know how to speak. Running wild on you, brother. We're over the top. Rocking it back to the vintage scene. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central. With epic thumbnails from the vintage of Boxy. Gonna bring you the best. Legends you remember from the ring and silver screen. We're over the top. Get ready for a good time.
Wow, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chad Arms, aka Chatty Bobby. All of them.
And my name is Tony with a smooth operator voice this
Hi,
evening.
dude.
AKA Friday the 14th.
Hell yeah.
Y'all already know what it is. I'm Hot Mike Chance.
And I'm PJ the DJ. I love that.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's been a minute, BJ.
On
I know it
time.
has. It doesn't feel like it though, but it has been a minute.
Yeah, just a few episodes and everything. I think what 99 and a half was the last one you were on and everything. So
No, he
we
was
did
on
a
episode
and then we
100.
did 100.
no,
Yeah, we-
episode 100. Yeah, episode 100.
yeah.
Duh.
Coming in hot, Tony.
Woo!
Yeah.
We've only been doing this for over 100 episodes. You know,
That's all. Not that many.
You
Episode,
know.
so this is
Time.
episode 103.
KDF.
103 KDF. If you're not local to Nashville, you have no clue what we're talking
You
about.
have no clue what we're talking about.
But we're here to talk about Elimination Chamber 2025, baby.
Yeah. The last PLE we got before WrestleMania, and it's setting up some heat for Mania coming up. It's officially Mania season, boys. I know everybody says once Rumble is over with, it starts Mania, but I think once you get through Elimination, especially because we got 5 weeks of build up for Mania. So I mean, it's full on Mania season, and I am completely in it for all of it.
A lot of things starting to make sense now.
Yep.
I mean, especially the main events are pretty much locked and loaded, and a lot of the undercard stuff starting to make a lot of sense now too. So I think it's what I was worried about in the beginning was how Rock was going to play into all of it, and now we know obviously, but the undercard stuff is what I was real iffy about. Like I thought there was going to be a lot of misfires, but I think they're starting to piece together a pretty good card.
Do you think that they kept it a secret or kind of kept everything under wraps until after Elimination Chamber? Because I think if they started kind of having feuds happening, like they were throwing hints at different feuds, but once the Elimination Chamber was over, you kind of can see where some of the stuff is going to fall, some of the people are going to fall. But if they would have started having a bunch of feuds before, then you could kind of see like what direction they were going with the Elimination Chamber.
No, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because
For
we've
sure.
been getting teased little things ever since Mania of last year. We've been getting teased little droplets and everything, and I think
droplets.
but I think after the chamber, especially after the men's chamber match and the women's chamber match, you've got a ton of storylines to build off of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I mean, a lot of people are kind of like still waiting in the wind to figure out what's going to happen with them. Like, just Raw, for instance, with the last minute title change, like 5 weeks before Mania for the women's title. Where does that leave Rhea? You know what I mean? Like, just trying to figure out who's doing what at this point. But there's a lot of feuds, I think, already, shaping up pretty good after the Elimination Chamber. What I didn't realize was now, I always forget this. Like normally whoever wins the Rumble will have their pick weeks ahead of the Elimination Chamber, but I don't even factor in the women's Elimination Chamber into the whole WrestleMania plan. I was just thinking who's going to face Cody for the title, and then boom, we get that. But yeah, the whole women's factor is a whole nother thing. So
I mean, we could just start out because that was the first match of the Elimination Chamber was the women's chamber match where you had Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Roxanne Perez, Bianca, Liv Morgan, and Naomi, and then we're about to get that match started, and then here comes out of nowhere Jade Cargill and destroys Naomi. I mean,
Yeah, she beat the fuck out of her. Sure.
Yep.
And
That was the
Bianca did a great job of selling in the pod and all that going on. I mean, it was just, and same with Liv, of just that sell right there from the beginning of it.
Yeah. You know what I noticed though about that, and I don't know if this is going to play into their direction going forward. Bianca was worried until after she came into the ring. Then she didn't care. It was all business
after she won. After she won too, she took her time to get back there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
She didn't say a word about
to
it.
back. Yep.
So I wonder if that's going to factor into the whole Naomi feud or whatever. So
I think she done it. I think Bianca.
You think Bianca
is the one
did it?
That's behind all of it.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah.
But I mean, the whole match was about. I mean, is the women's division better now than it's ever been, in y'all's opinion?
Yes. 1,000% yes.
Even you don't have Becky Lynch in there. You don't have Ronda Rousey. I mean,
she was terrible. Ronda Rousey was a terrible wrestler.
But Becky's. I mean, Becky's not even in the. And I think it's strong. Even if you didn't have Charlotte in the fold, it's still, I think, strong as it's ever been. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Alexa Bliss being back. I mean, she put on a show in the match. Liv Morgan is a superstar.
Yeah, she's killing it.
I
mean,
think
even like in the early 2000s when they had like Trish, Lita, Mickey James, when they had Victoria, when they had all of those women, I think they were still like decent wrestlers, but they were more so eye candy than anything.
Yeah.
Now I think they've got both, a combination of both. They got women who could portray their role as eye candy, but also can actually wrestle. And this is the best I've seen the division since I started watching wrestling. So
yeah, I mean, that match was incredible. I mean, Liv Morgan took a absolute beating in that match.
Yep.
I mean, that one where she's up on the chamber with Bianca up on top of the pod, and she literally whips her with her hair, that sound insane. And then
I almost thought that they like funneled that in, or
it sounded fake.
Yeah, but it was
she whipped.
But when I seen those whelps and her bleeding, I was like,
the welt wrapped around her body and everything. It was insane. That girl can go. I mean, she could take a punishment. And then there is one shot, I think, that I don't think the WWE is happy that got released, of her getting almost power bomb, and I think it was there's a
wardrobe malfunction.
Wardrobe malfunction.
There was one with an NXT girl.
No, lower area.
Oh, cooter shot.
Dude, there was one a couple weeks ago with one of the NXT girls that was far worse than that one.
Really?
Just butthole.
There was no censoring anything. But you know that. But Liv knows what she's got going on for Mania. There's going to be a tag match there. So, I mean, they can defend the tag titles, and she's still involved. But she's carried that women's division for months now.
Yeah.
I mean, but where does Rhea play into all of this, and where does how does this factor in with Naomi and some of the Alexa Bliss? Like, where is she going to be at Mania? And I think there's a lot still to determine as far as some of that undercard stuff with the women. But who knows? I mean, I don't know. I think they're trying to tease Alexa Bliss to be a part of the Wyatt Six, trying to bring them back in the fold of some things, and it's going to be interesting the next 5 weeks how they build that up.
Yeah, it's.
How long have they had a female tag division? I'm trying to understand why that was a thing.
Yeah, and then what the women's
they didn't have a men's tag title match on this card.
They haven't defended the men's tag. Well, they did at the Rumble. They had a SmackDown, but they've been defending the titles on Raw. The tag titles have been defended on Raw a couple different times the last few months.
Yeah, twice I think in the last 3 weeks.
This last Monday they had a tag match.
Yeah, and it was a banger.
Titles. Yeah, it was a banger.
Then you had the next match. You had the women's tag match with Trish Stratus and Tiffy, and then was it Candice LeRae and Nia Jax.
I'm tired of looking at her too.
I'm going to be honest with you. I made a pizza during this match.
Yeah,
I mean, I like seeing Tiffy and Trish. they actually had pretty good chemistry. There was one part of that match that really, like, I thought, I don't know, it threw me off a little bit. Trish was on the apron. She was laying down on the apron, and Tiffy was in the corner, and she pushed her off the apron with her foot. Like,
She was like kicking her. Yeah.
Right. And I was like, oh, I'm not the only one that sees that.
Yep.
I don't know if that may lead to something, but yeah, I mean, Tiffany's the real deal, dude. She's the next one up, and I'm tired of looking at Nia Jax. She's sloppy. She can't wrestle. She's rough. I don't know.
That Trish Stratus, Nia Jax attempted a super Stratus, whatever that shit was horrible, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chance brought up a good fact, like what, because me and Chance were watching this live, and we were in the group text and everything, and then nobody was answering, so me and Chance started texting separately because we're like, well, we don't want to spoil this for anybody else.
Yep.
But Chance during that brought up an interesting fact about Nia Jax, that she's had a longer in-ring career than Trish Stratus has.
Yeah.
Is Nia Jax going to be a Hall of Famer?
No, she's related to The Rock, so of course she's going to be around. She got released, and then they hired her right back.
Yeah.
Like,
nobody likes her either, bro.
No, she hurts people.
Yes.
But I got to think about that.
She don't sell. She's not a good worker.
No. I mean, Trish was a valet, of course, for a long time before she ever stepped in the ring.
Yeah.
And then, like, it was that prime early 2000s time frame where you had like Lita came out and Trish came out, and they were hot for a few years, and then they didn't have to have the longevity. Mickey James kind of took over, and then Michelle McCool comes in, and you know, you had an influx of women during that time. Jazz was there.
Shout out Jazz.
Shout out to Michelle McCool. I just was hanging out with her brother today, podcasting with Jeff McCool.
Shout out to that.
Creek, from Moccasin Creek.
Nice.
He talked about how he's got to go find it and go buy him a suit.
Oh yeah, he's going to be at the Hall of Fame.
He's going to be at the Hall of Fame
for
her induction.
That is awesome.
That's that dude has the funniest stories. I can't wait for y'all to start seeing these clips.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
That's a small world right there.
Yeah, he played arena football as a quarterback. He was a college football quarterback guy at Cincinnati. He played with a lot of basketball and football, and then he started doing country rap stuff about 15 years ago, and him and Bottleneck and Smo were at the beginning of that mud bog stuff. They're the ones that started doing all that.
Gotcha.
Is he a wrestling fan too?
Oh yeah.
Oh well,
he's a movie fan too. He said he was definitely down to get on one of these.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, he's definitely down. We can. And it ain't nothing just to send him a link like this, but he.
Yes, that's
awesome.
He's
100% down for that for sure.
That's awesome.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's going in the Hall of Fame. I think we're going to get a Luger Hall of Fame induction also. I think showing all the DDP clips of him standing on his own or whatever, I think they're building up a huge redemption story for him. Yeah. I think they're going to end up putting him in the Hall this year.
Yeah, he deserves it. I mean, it's like you said,
he made mistakes. I mean,
everybody makes mistakes.
Unpopular what I'm about to say, and I don't mean it in a negative light, but Elizabeth was just as much responsible for her choices as Luger was. So she was just as much involved in it as Luger was. Unpopular, but the reality of it is
it's the reality of it.
They were both involved in some things that were questionable in their life, and you know that's
something he's got to live with for the rest of his life as well, and everything.
Exactly.
So nobody really knows what. I mean, he's really, especially being wheelchair bound, and what he deals with on a day-to-day basis and everything too. So
because and I wouldn't say the same thing about Benoit. I'm just saying it because of what happened with Liz. Unfortunately, it was because of the lifestyle they were living. But Benoit had a choice. Benoit made the choice. A little different. So
facts on that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, then we had your favorite match of the night. Then BJ, we had the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens longevity.
I'm over it, man. They
how many matches?
342 times in the last 4 years. I'm tired of it, man.
Once again, they beat the hell out of each other the whole match.
If that would have been, go ahead.
No, the unsanctioned match ended in a pinfall with a referee counting 3.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. I'm done with it, man.
It was a dope match from what I saw, but
Go ahead.
No, I just don't know. I don't follow it other than just watching these. So I don't know the storyline. I didn't know it was unsanctioned. I just watched. I mean, I just went back and watched.
Yeah, it was
it.
a quick storyline. Kevin was mad because Sammy was joined back up with the bloodline and helped Roman Reigns out, and I honestly I just don't think they know what to do with them at this
You know,
right
ran
now.
out. It sounds like
he
ran
just
out. So
main
that sounds
evented.
like-
He main evented with Stone Cold 2 years ago,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and he has done nothing productive since. Even the whole bloodline thing, he gets involved in the bloodline with Sami Zayn, which I hate Sami Zayn being a part of the bloodline more than anything. There's so many other family members that could have been involved in it other than Sami Zayn. Of course, we got some clips from there with he's not feeling very oozy and all this stuff, but Sammy's payoff for that whole thing wasn't even a title match with Roman. It was a tag title match with Kevin Owens and the Usos.
Yeah.
So he got the short end of the stick on the whole storyline anyway. But I'm not interested in Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. Anything they do right now, I'm not interested whatsoever. So.
I mean, there was some brutal spots in that match. They put each other through hell in that one. I mean, especially that one chair spot where they put the barbed wire chair
Mhm.
in between the two other chairs, and he took the face spot on there. That looked
They
pretty
did everything
legit.
short of setting the table on fire.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think
Which I was shocked they didn't.
I think out of all the matches that they've had, if that would have been like the second or third match that they ever had in WWE, we would be talking about it a lot different. Because I think I think overall it was a good match, but everyone's just tired of seeing them.
Yeah.
To me, they're Flair versus Steamboat. You saw it so many times.
Mhm.
It loses its,
Yeah, and I think that's why they did the stipulations and stuff with the non-sanctioned and all that, just because they had to do something to try to make it interesting.
But it's so stupid. Like the little details in it, like the
Mhm.
lights were dim.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
referee was wearing a black shirt. Like
It looked very UFC-ish.
Well, they had the WWE logos off the turnbuckles.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Come on, man.
Did anybody even bleed in that match? I don't
I
think
think
anybody
I thought Kevin Owens did.
Kevin got busted open.
did it.
Yeah,
when he sold the whole eye thing or something.
Yeah,
I think maybe.
But I mean, where do they go?
He's off TV for a while. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think they have anything for Sammy.
He's coming back with the eye patch or a fake eye.
Shy eye patches.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, though, when Orton's music hit, which that was unexpected. I mean, that dude is in shape like nobody's fucking business.
Yeah, he's like 285, dog.
How long had Orton been out?
A few months.
Yeah.
And his return got overshadowed again.
Again, yeah, it did. Again, it did.
You're right.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! Holy crap! But
you know what though, man? He threw like 6-7 RKO's out there.
They just kept running people at him. People just kept running at him. I was like, don't run at him. One dude acted like he didn't want to run, and then he ran to him anyway.
But I guess I'm assuming that's setting up something between those KO and Orton at Mania.
Now I'm interested in that. Like I think they'll put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
But with Orton, what dude? I think he looks. I say it every time he comes back. This is the best he's ever looked. But dude, he
ain't got no neck, man. It's like all.
How much did you say he weighed?
About 285, I think.
That's insane.
Every bit of it,
dude. His thighs were just.
He's a hoss, dude.
Dude,
I mean,
scary.
You 285 with abs, man. You a big old boy.
Yeah, he's a very intimidating. He's a big old fella.
Yeah,
big old fella.
I'm still I'm a fan of like bald headed Randy Orton, about 230. You know, with the oiled up tattoo look and everything. Like that's my favorite version of Orton. 285, well, man, he's a brick shithouse, dude.
He's a mean machine.
Yeah, he's
a mean machine, Baba.
I guess we'll just jump into the event of. I mean, it was you only had four matches, but of course you had 2 chamber matches in there. You got the men's match. You had Damian Priest. Snooze fest.
I can't
completely.
Stand that guy. I can't stand that fucking dude. I could give 2 fucks about Damian Priest.
Yeah, I'm over him.
Yep, I'm completely over him as well. You had Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Punk, and man, I don't know. And he's another one. I don't know where he goes from here because he
I don't
keeps
care.
getting.
You can go home for all I care. I don't care where you go.
Oh man, don't talk.
Okay.
Don't talk about. I'm a Drew fan, man.
Well, he
I'm
hasn't
a
done
Drew
anything
homer.
to evolve, man. It's always him crying about somebody costing him something. Like,
Yeah, he was my
dude,
pick,
I-
and he was the first one eliminated.
Yeah,
I was gonna
I
say,
can't
I thought
believe
that
they
was the
did
one
that.
they thought was gonna win.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was all in on Drew winning back-to-back elimination chambers, and then right from who was it? Was it Priest that rolled him up? Yeah, it was
Think so.
fucking Priest that rolled
Yep.
him up on a cheap roll up. He gets
Yep.
eliminated on.
yeah.
It's out fruit roll ups.
Yeah. Oh, I got some in the pantry.
Uh-oh.
Fruit by the foot was far superior.
Oh man, see,
But you're
Yeah.
gonna,
You know, like,
say it's not. How could you say fruit by the foot's better than? Or yeah, you know what I meant. How could you say fruit roll ups are better than fruit by the foot?
Well, see, fruit roll ups, you can roll them up like an airhead, and they can last longer and everything. A fruit by the
That's
foot,
true.
you're just like you're just.
What was the one that had the little things you could peel out? They were like little pill
Oh,
outs.
that's fruit roll ups.
Yeah, that was fruit
Yeah.
roll ups. That's why they're superior.
I like the ones with the tattoos. The ones you could like you put it all over your skin and then you
Yeah.
eat it.
I just went and got a real one.
Who's got more tattoos, me or Chance?
Chance, you don't have any, dude.
Comment down below. Comment down below.
Neither one of us do, bro.
I knew Chad didn't have any, but Chance, you don't have any.
Hey,
Hell no,
maybe,
dude.
maybe I
Can you
do.
imagine
Maybe I
Hot
don't.
Mike Chance with a tattoo, dude? That would be crazy. My
If
head
I
would
can't
That would-
see it, then I just
About to
assume it's not there.
About to get a flaming mic right there.
There you go.
He's got a
yeah.
little. He's got
Shout out
one
Sugar
right
Man.
there.
Sugar Man's got a flaming. I got a flaming mic actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's
Chance
gimmick
needs a
infringement.
flaming
That's
mic
gimmick
after
infringement.
that what he dropped in the group text of him dropping bars on us.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
that would have been a
Oh,
perfect.
yeah.
Well, Cena still ain't done his promo, but that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I'm happy with the men's elimination chamber, how it turned out. I think they did a lot to kind of further some storylines down the road. I think we get another Cena Punk rivalry before the year's up.
That was a cool moment. That was an
Yeah.
awesome moment
Yep.
right there.
Yeah.
Something.
Logan Paul is growing on me more and more as a wrestler. I still hate him as a person.
Yep.
But as a wrestler, he's growing on me. But yeah, I think
Hey, they got a reality show coming out
who does?
on Max.
Yeah, the Paul brothers.
Jake and Logan.
I can guarantee you, I will
Paul
never
American.
watch that. But no, I would never. But as a wrestler, I mean, I can't deny like he is actually, he's putting in the work.
Yeah.
He's definitely
He's a stud in the
grown.
ring.
He's put on banger after banger with everybody he's faced. Honestly, he's never had a bad match. Can't say that.
And he's not scared to try moves
Right.
either. And he embraces the whole heel aspect of being a
sure.
professional wrestler. He
For
soaks it in. I mean, he gets it. And it's really surprising as someone that's been in the business for such a short time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if he was a fan of it growing up of the sport, and that. But for somebody to get it that quickly is really impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been acting his whole life pretty much. He's been acting like a cool guy. He's been acting like he's popular. He's been acting like he's important. So I mean, he's been acting his whole life. So he's got that part down pat. So
Something with that men's chamber felt off a little bit. Like it felt rushed. Like they were rushing through it. So I don't know if someone else ran over and they were trying to keep time, but it just seemed like I don't know. It just felt like it was rushed more than the women's chamber was.
I feel like they gave Cena a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why they rushed it because they ran long on some of the other stuff or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
They
I
had to
also
make
feel
sure
like
that
they
last
gave
segment was-
Rollins and Punk a lot of time together as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of further that. The ending was phenomenal. I think
Yes.
Rollins out
It
of
didn't
camera.
make anybody look weak.
No, Rollins out of camera, stomps Punk, and then Cena immediately attacks it, which was the coolest thing I'd seen. I was like, okay, that's different because normally who would have thought Cena would just jump on something that quick, and he did. And him sticking around afterwards when Cody comes out there, of course, we knew that moment was going to happen. Cody comes out.
Yeah.
And he's standing in the ring with him. Big moment. The interaction, the banner between the two of them was pretty cool. hyping up the match or whatever, and then here comes The Rock, obviously with Travis Scott, who for some reason was there.
Ruins everything.
Dennis-
He ruins everything.
He had Dennis Rodman NWO vibes going on.
I've never seen Travis Scott get 30 rebounds a game, so he did not deserve to be there.
No, ever compare Travis Scott to Dennis
To
Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, yeah.
You
But
deserve that
so-
one, Chance.
Yeah.
That was huge. That moment there, trying to figure out how it was all going to play out. I expected at some point that Travis Scott and Cena were going to leave the ring and just leave Cody and Rock there.
I was half hot about the ending of that Elimination Chamber match, though, because I'm getting about sick and tired of CM Punk getting passed over for a WrestleMania main event. But they redeemed themselves.
Yeah.
They did. Now he's another one kind of now, like, what is the plan for him? Are we going to get him and Rollins again? Obviously something's supposed to happen on Raw. I don't know. What's going to happen? Now there's a whole lot of things looming in the air, like the whole Paul Heyman owes him a favor.
Yep.
There's a lot going on. Roman Reigns is nowhere to be seen right now. Like, who knows what's going to happen between Punk and Rollins and Reigns and Heyman and Jacob Fatu. Like, there's a lot of people still needing something to do at Mania. But Cena, man, the whole interaction with The Rock, with Cody
Dude, that
and The
face
Rock,
turn, the
promo,
facial expression.
This is like, Cody is so good on the mic now, man. Like, Cody's the way he presented it, my soul is no longer mine.
Yeah.
I thought, oh man,
he's
going
going
to be interesting.
But you know what? I didn't pick up the first time when Cody first came into the arena. He was wearing that all black suit, had a black shirt on, and everything. And then when he came out to the ring and everything, he had a white shirt under the black vest, which, of course, that's going to show when he getting busted open and everything. It's better for TV and all. But that should have been the first indicator right there. He's not taking this deal with The Rock right there.
Right. Yeah, to see little things like that are now so important to their storytelling. And I love that they're putting those little details back in the stories. Like, you've got to pick up on those things.
Yeah.
But that embrace, like, he tells Rock, no, tell him go fuck yourself. It was clear as day.
Who would have thought we'd be at a time in WWE where we're just openly dropping, "Hey, Rock, go fuck yourself" on live?
Right.
You know what was powerful about that, though? They blocked out every cuss word that, like, even the crowd that night, but they let that go. I think that was on purpose. Like,
Cornette was talking about it. He says sometimes, like, that's the biggest reaction, like the pop all night. Sometimes the fans want the wrestlers in the ring to say what they can't say in that moment. So, like, obviously the fans were wanting to tell The Rock that same thing. But when Cody said that, he said it the way the fans wanted to express it. So that's why the pop was so huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. Just like
and Cena sold it too. I mean, Cena's bouncing around, cheering on and everything, and then you get the embrace and
the face turn, man.
Yep.
The face turn, like, he literally, like, went to Jim. What's the Ernest Scared Stupid, where Jim Varney's like the bad guy? He immediately went from Jim Varney.
Ernest Goes to Jail. Big I need you to get it right. That's Ernest Goes to Jail.
Yeah.
That's
but he immediately turned to that guy, and the face turn, the acting on that embrace, man. I said, okay, they saved it. I don't care. The Rock's not going to have a match. We're not changing the main event. I now see why he's there, and it's so important that he's there, and we get heel Cena, what we've been asking for 15 years. We finally get in what's supposed to be his last year as a performer. So very well done, man. It was unbelievable. Great ending.
2 for 2 this year on the pepper. I mean, I'm not calling them PLEs.
It's so hard.
Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, right? What was the other one?
You had a Saturday night main events in there in between those two.
But like the main ones was those two.
Just those two.
Do y'all think that heel turn was bigger than Hogan's?
Yes.
I think BJ brought up a good before we started recording why it's a bigger
because of social media.
Yeah.
The replay value, like, all you saw it when Hogan turned. Hogan's was big, don't get me wrong. But when you got Hogan as a heel, you may have saw it 10 times on Nitro the next week, and then he comes out wearing all black. The replay Like it's on Sports Center, it's on
the number
it's
one.
on
It's trending on
It's
Twitter.
everywhere. Like the replay value of the Cena heel turn, plus with all that, he's the most demanded Make a Wish superstar of all time. He's done the most wishes of any superstar, and so to have him flip the switch like that. Of course, I know when he started, he was a heel. But this was different. Like we got 20 years of hustle, loyalty, and respect, and WWE carried on his back, and they had a spinner belt used for 10 years, give or take. Even when it wasn't Cena's run, it was somebody else's run. They kept the same title.
Yeah,
that says a lot about his longevity. Like everybody else gets a custom title when things happen, and when The Rock finally became champion, he took the spinner belt away, but they kept that same belt design because they knew at any given time we could just throw it on Cena and he'll carry the torch. And that says a lot about his longevity and what he's done for WWE. His run far bigger than Austin, in my opinion. Far bigger than Hogan's WWE run.
oh
I think.
yeah, just the
Oh, that's
longevity
bigger
of
than
it.
anybody's.
Longevity
Yeah.
part of it, yes. So if you're talking about Mount Rushmore for WWE, he's got to be the first person on that. I mean, there's other people obviously, but
for
he's got
sure.
to be the main one.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yep.
agree.
Yeah.
You can't knock it.
I think it was definitely the biggest heel turn in WWE history, and I think it was the biggest heel turn since Hogan's.
Yeah.
The only reason from a standpoint of the reach and the the stuff just didn't go viral back then.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that it was. I don't think that it's as a impactful heel turn, or it's not really like Hogan's heel turn. Kind of along with the NWO, kind of changed
It
a
changed
lot of the
wrestling
business.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was definitely like this heel turn was definitely a shot in the arm for WWE, and
Right.
is getting a lot of media exposure. It's getting
Oh, it's
all over
everywhere.
social media. Yep, and even people that aren't wrestling fans, like I seen this, like people that aren't wrestling fans saying they're seeing it all over their TikTok feeds and all that stuff, and it's causing them to tune in, and especially it was good timing with them being on Netflix, where more people have access to, they can watch it on demand when they're bored or whatever. They can just pop it on
And I think that's where the whole Travis Scott part of it is coming in too, where it's you're drawing in people that aren't professional wrestling fans that are fans of Travis Scott to see something happening. And even though I didn't like, as a wrestling fan, as a deep down old school wrestling fan, I didn't like him being out there, and he's going to have a receipt coming. That's for damn sure. If Cody don't pay him back, somebody's going to pay him back in the ring. For that shot that he took on Cody. I mean, that was the slap heard round the world.
Yeah,
I mean, like when Cena was going up against The Rock, like bar for bar, they were, he held his own with Rock. Rock was still giving good promos or whatever. But something just looked off then with me. Like Cena coming out with the multicolored shirts and everything was cool during that time frame. Now, I think this is a way to keep him from looking stale and looking out of date, and this keeps him fresh. I mean, I think it's great. I think the timing was perfect for it.
Yeah.
Everyone thought Cody was going to be the heel. I don't think Cody can play the heel role. I remember dashing Cody Rhodes and all that other stuff. I don't want to see Cody play the heel. I think Cody needs to finish his run WWE as a face and just be with it. This was the perfect one to turn.
Well, it's going to be. I mean, Cody's the underdog once again this WrestleMania.
Yeah. He plays that well.
But the power of these promos that we're going to get out of this. I mean, you got three of the best talkers in the WWE about to go 5 weeks at each other.
Rock's fell off, man.
Yeah.
He has, but I think it's going to help him having Cena right there, having one of the best talkers of all time right there.
The Rock goes to the well way too many times with things like Mama Rhodes, Cody Crybabies, Fruity Pebbles, like some of the cliche stuff he's done in the past. It's just a little too much, like corny. He just.
But that's what the fans. That's what the old school fans like to hear.
Yeah.
So he's just chiming the bell, just like, "Oh, come on, brother."
Yeah.
Yeah. If I ever, I'm telling you guys, if I see another Hulk Hogan beer commercial in Raw, I'll never watch again.
I think we're gonna have to get used to it because I saw 2 of them on Raw the other night. I don't know what they're thinking. They must be getting a really good check from that beer company.
I haven't seen any Hulk Hogan beer commercials
I was about to
because I
say
watch
that.
on a 30-minute delay. And if you watch on a 30-minute delay and it's a 2.5-hour show, you get 0 commercials.
Chance has
That's amazing.
learned to get around the
There
system.
you go.
Fuck,
Do
fuck
y'all,
watching commercials.
do y'all think that this is gonna hurt WWE's merchandise sales for
No.
John Cena, or do you
No.
think it'll?
No, dude.
I wasn't sure with
No.
with
Everybody's
as many
well
kids.
enough.
Yeah,
People are so they already know how the WWE works now. I don't think that's going to matter.
Yeah. And I don't
10,
think
15, 20 years ago, yeah, absolutely. But
And that heel merch is
now-
gonna be so fire
But-
too.
like I
Yeah.
think Roman Reigns, he was a heel and he was still one of the
selling
top
a ton
merchants.
of it.
I
That's what
think
I'm
if
saying,
they make some cool merch, he'll
Yeah.
sell more.
Oh yeah,
to
and you
adults.
know they've already probably got all. It's probably good. That's what I'm curious of. When the first time we see Cena back, me personally, I want to see him come back full on black suit, Hollywood style, just coming in acting. I'm better than everybody.
Black muscle V-neck with
Yeah, just something.
Yeah.
I mean, he better get a tan because that boy is
Yeah.
pale. I mean, he
Yeah.
is on Sheamus level right now, pale. I mean, he's on my level of paleness and everything. That boy is
he was pretty
pale.
pasty, dude.
And that bald spot, go back with that. I mean, get out of this movie, go back
Get a
with
little
that high and tight to cover up that bald spot because that thing is glistening. It's like a glazed donut sitting on the back of his head.
Yeah, I thought for a moment there when he was coming to the ring for the chamber match, he had his hat on. I was like, oh man, we got that Chris fade, but he took his hair off, took his hat off, and I was like, nope.
And then they got behind him with the camera, and then you saw that O-ring sitting on the back
Hey,
of
I
his head.
feel
It's
it,
like,
dog. That's what I look like from the back, and I didn't know it. My son took a picture of it the other day, and I was like, why you got a picture of me sitting in the stands? He goes, just looking at the back of your head. I was like,
yeah,
see how
thanks.
y'all do me? See how y'all do me?
Happens
But
to
yeah,
the best of us.
I'm excited. I think the Raw conference that that Cena's going to be gone for a couple weeks.
He's gonna be in Knoxville for
Just,
SmackDown. I know that.
Oh, is he going to for SmackDown? I think because I think he's still filming a movie right now or something like that. So
I think when that happened, that may have been in May though. I think, or
Oh,
maybe it
okay.
was March. But I know there's gonna be 3 weeks in a row he's gonna be on SmackDown.
sign me up for it. I'm
yeah.
all for him making the appearances.
Coming up. I just saw that. I just read that somewhere. So that may be his next one back. And so we were talking about the merch. I think the tagline they're going with right now is hustle, loyalty, and disrespect.
Yeah.
And I think Travis Scott's supposed to give him new theme music, which I mean, his theme music is as iconic as he is, right? Because it's his own music. And
Just don't let Def Rebel or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't let them touch it.
he's a platinum selling artist. That's hard to believe
Yeah.
that Cena has a platinum record.
Yeah.
John Cena said that they talked about doing a heel turn in the past, and he actually recorded a heel theme. So I don't know if we'll get to see that or not. I think he
Interesting.
talked to Chris Van Vliet about that. We'll see.
But
I
yeah,
think
it's
Travis Scott will end up doing it also.
Yeah.
Sure.
That Fiend song is taking over their Raw. My
Mhm.
kid, no, he's 10. My kid sings Fiend, Fiend, Fiend. Does it walk around the house singing Fiend.
Yep.
yes, but like Chad said, another they're 2 for 2 with the PLEs this year, and then we're going right into Mania, and we get 2 nights because we are getting it is 2 nights of Mania again this year,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
So it's and then the Raw on Monday night, the Punk came out with on fire on the microphone.
Yeah.
I mean he was holding nothing back, and then
That was
the
one
line.
of the best openings in a while.
Yeah, and I think you said it as well. I mean, Punk's lost a step in the ring and everything,
Mhm.
but he's as good as he has ever been on the mic. He hasn't lost anything with his mic skills.
Yep.
Yeah, he's pissed right now too. So
Oh, he is. I mean, I love that first 15, 20 minutes of just letting him and Rollins go at it.
yeah,
Greatness. I mean, through the stands. I mean, little kids were getting pushed.
Yeah.
I am tired of them doing like every week you get 3 or 4 backstage brawls on Raw, and they're like what are y'all doing there? Can y'all not get your people under control? What's going on? 3 or
Just
4
fighting everywhere.
Like, what wasn't like? You need to hire some more security or something. What's going on?
It's getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that WCW's head of security?
Doug Dillinger.
They need Doug Dillinger. Go and bring him back.
Doug Dillinger.
Or you remember
Chance
that?
name dropping the head of security for WCW, Doug Dillinger.
Yeah.
He kept
You
things
remember
under.
that big dude that looked like Scott Steiner whenever he had the black long hair, the big muscular dude that was on that was WWE security.
Yes.
Since we're speaking about Doug's,
Yeah.
I'm wearing Pittsburgh colors. Too
Doug's
bad it
funny.
wasn't Doug Drabeck.
No.
Solid pitcher from Doug
winner,
Drabeck
man.
was a beast, son.
Yeah. 20 game winner.
Oh,
man.
man.
But the Raw has been good too, man. Like you mentioned Punk, like the Gunther and Otis match was pretty hard too.
Yeah.
Like, Otis put him through the ringer.
How old? That dude's over too. He had the
Yeah.
crowd behind him the whole time.
He's been
Hey,
over.
Has he really?
I
Yeah.
want a good surprise on Raw. Like that would be cool to just see someone like Otis win the championship, even if it's just for a week. Just for a week.
I mean,
Just
yeah,
something
you know what I
crazy-
want-
Just
you know
something
what I
crazy
want?
happen.
Jazz,
You know what I
jazz
want to happen?
iconic. Jazz iconic.
I want to see if Cena comes out with new theme music and everything. I want to see R-Truth start using his theme music.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
if you're not if y'all are not following R-Truth on Instagram, you're
I
doing
love
yourself a disservice because that dude has been playing the whole Cena turn up magically. That dude is just amazing. Dude, it's optical. He told Brandy Rhodes it's an optical illusion or something like that.
AI.
Yeah.
Oh man. And we were talking about the tag titles. The War Raiders and the Creed brothers had a nice match. That spot where I think it was the big bald headed one. I can't remember which. He hit him with like a splash up against the side of the apron.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a heck of a hit, dude. But them big boys, like the Creed brothers, put on a show, man. They were doing
fly
some big
around
spots.
a lot. They fly around a lot for some bigger guys.
That was the first match that I've really ever paid attention to them, and I was highly impressed with their skills for being such big dudes.
They did a shooting star press and a 450 splash.
Yeah. And
he
those
overshot
guys
the 450, but the shooting star press looked good.
Yeah. I mean, those are big boys. I mean, they're like younger Lesnar size. Doing that kind of stuff and putting them off clean. But
and, you know, one thing we also forget about now, we've got 2 mid-card titles for the women as well. So those will probably be defended at Mania. It's just a lot. There's a lot to factor in. The Hardy Boys, I think, are going to play a factor in WrestleMania.
You think so?
I think they're going to be involved in. They've got to be involved in something. Their show at NXT went over well. They looked good. Had a really good tag team match there. Defended the TNA titles. I think they're going to do it at Roadblock as well. I think they've got something. They've got to be involved in Mania in some kind of way, man. There's just.
And then you got Breaker with the IC title. Who's going to be? Are we going to have some kind of triple threat? A ladder? Are we going to have a ladder match at some point with some title?
I'm calling right now that Breaker's going to win Money in the Bank. It's on.
So does he drop the IC title at Mania
between now and then? Yeah, I think.
Does he drop it to AJ?
Dude. AJ don't need it.
No,
AJ
don't.
AJ and Logan Paul looks like they're going to be.
I like that matchup too.
Well, if that's the case,
he says he's
then
going to call him out.
Logan would gain something by winning the IC title.
Yeah. I see. Okay, yeah. And then I think Finn Balor gets his way into the IC title picture at Mania too, because we've been getting little hints. I know Chance saw it on Raw Monday during the little Judgment Day segment. You had up in the corner in the background, you had the Demon like logo back in the back corner. So I think the Demon's coming back at some point. Maybe we get him at Mania. That's what I think with the IC title. I see a 4-way ladder match, something like that happening for the IC title.
Yeah, because Penta's still got to factor into Mania in some way.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't put him in the chamber match. I guess there was just bigger stories to tell in the chamber match, and he didn't.
I mean,
he may be having a triple threat match with Dune and Ludwig.
He could have took Damian Priest.
Yeah,
I just-
fuck Damian Priest.
Yeah,
I,
they could
I
have
think
took
I don't,
Damian
I don't know.
Priest
I
out.
don't even know how Damian Priest factored into the Money in the Bank. I mean the chamber match. I just don't know. He was like an odd person in.
I don't like
Yeah,
him.
they could have put
Yeah,
a
I'm not
bunch
a
of
fan
people in
either.
there.
Not a fan either.
I
And
would have
then,
rather had Dominic Mysterio in there.
Oh, I'd have loved that.
oh,
Dude,
they
you talk
just
about
get him
somebody that
getting
can draw
tossed
heat.
around everywhere.
Yeah,
Yep.
you talk about somebody that can draw heat, man. He's the best, dude.
Him and Logan Paul
Yeah.
Paul know how to get it, and it's freaking. They just soak it all in. That's what's great
Yeah.
about it.
Yep.
I love it.
But then you had that. Did you see the little Chad Gable segment of him looking up the lucha? Do we get now that Ray Phoenix is gone from AEW? I'm sure he's already signed with WWE.
Yeah,
Do
I think
we
he's on
get
his
a
way.
Ray Phoenix versus Penta down the line and everything?
I mean-
Gable is using Ray against Penta.
I want to see Gable with a American flag lucha mask is what I want to see.
I'll take
I
that
want to see
too.
him come to the I want to see him come to the ring in a mask with the little singlet and everything, and like he's got potential to have a pretty tight stable. Like his faction is pretty legit. He's just not. They keep comparing him to Kurt Angle. He's just not as good as Kurt Angle.
Mm-mm.
He can put on a good match. He's just
Yeah.
not Kurt Angle.
No, he don't have the personality, and he don't have the personality, the mic skills.
Right.
In ring, he's comparable. He's not Kurt Angle in the
No.
ring. I mean, he's great in the ring. Don't get me wrong, but he's just that personality of Kurt Angle is unmatched.
I mean, Kurt Angle was a WWE champion 5 months into the company.
That's
Like,
crazy.
You don't see that.
That's insane.
Lesnar's probably the only exception to that. You don't see that from people. But yeah, 5 months in, he's a world champion because he was Olympic gold medalist. So obviously his transition was easier than some. But
Yeah.
Lesnar's probably the only exception to that rule.
Yep.
And then you had the Io Sky and Ray Ripley to end Raw, and
Great match.
Mm-hmm.
banger of a match and a title change that nobody saw coming.
No.
I was wondering why they were promoting it so much. I was thinking like maybe something would happen, but I mean, seemed like the company was going with Rhea more than Io. So I don't know what they have.
I don't
planned
think
for
it's
her.
just going to be those two though. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she won the belt on Raw.
Yep,
Mhm.
yeah,
Io won the belt on Raw.
I didn't watch Raw. I didn't watch Raw after.
Because I'm all for
Yeah.
Bianca and Rhea. I think I think a couple episodes ago I had mentioned I don't see there's money in any women's match except for Tiffy and Charlotte, but Bianca and Rhea, that's money.
Oh yeah.
That's money. But I don't think there's going to be there's something else got to be going on there.
Yep.
And like I said, I've not paid attention to many EOs. I've been watching her more lately and everything that she's been on Raw. That girl is impressive
Yeah.
as hell too. I mean, that's another one you got to factor into the women's division. 'Cause she's the champ now. She's tight, but can go absolutely and no
Money in the
fear
Bank winner,
whatsoever.
too. She cashed in her Money in the Bank and won. Did she cash in her Money in the Bank on Bianca?
I can't recall.
I don't
I want
remember.
to say she might have cashed in on Bianca and won the title from her when she cashed in her briefcase.
Yeah.
So there's history there, of course, obviously, but yeah, I mean, but there's a lot of women out there. Like I said, 2 mid-card titles now for them, tag titles, which I think Liv and Raquel. I don't know who their opponent's going to be, but I feel like that's solidified now. They're going to defend the titles.
Oh yeah, yeah. She Diesel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sheezel. That's what
Sheezel.
you came up. That's the name Chad came up with. Sheezel.
But yeah, man. I
Sheezel.
mean, at first when The Rock showed up, I was kind of hesitant. Like, man, they're going to change some things around. We're going to get some bullshit for a main event. But I think now the way they're shaping this thing, and now even if The Rock doesn't do anything else the rest of the Mania season, Cena and Cody can carry that match by themselves.
I hope eventually we get a fully built Hollywood Illuminati stable with Pat McAfee, The Rock, Logan Paul, and John Cena, and The Miz, and just not.
You said Charlotte. You put Charlotte in there.
Put Charlotte Flair in there, and go that route. And that'll get you the Survivor Series, and then maybe Cena can turn. Maybe he can turn back into a face for a couple months.
Man, you know, you had me when you said Miz, man. When you threw the Miz in there, I was like, ooh, that was
Chance was cooking in the group text the other day, booking that. I mean, Chance was right. Had
Trying to
hit
get my job as a writer at WWE.
I mean, and it was solid. Everything that Chance was putting out and everything. I mean, he had it planned out to a T.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
I'm booking the next WrestleMania.
But that's a nice faction there. That's a nice.
And then you got the workers on the other side. You'd have, have Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, all those guys.
I like it. It's interesting. It's got me curious of what the next 5 weeks are gonna have in store for us, building up to Mania. That's for sure.
There's definitely one more person that's joining. I don't know
like
who
I
it
said,
is, but I think there's one more.
The first
Earl
time
Hebner.
he showed up, he did.
Earl Hebner.
Yeah, I heard Jey Uso.
Really?
Yep. I don't.
Where'd you hear that from, Dave Meltzer?
Mm-mm.
I hate
Another credible source.
This could be the first Mania we get both titles changed in a long time.
There's so many possibilities.
I think it has to come off Cody. I mean, you don't invest this much money or this much energy into a character change of this magnitude without, putting.
And then you have Cody on the chase to get the title back and everything for
right.
the.
Or you got CM Punk.
You got Cena. You got CM Punk and Cena.
Yeah.
Going at it after Cena beats Cody for the belt.
Or
CM Punk works a angle where he gets back in there for it or something.
I like that too.
Or
you got Roman come in the mix. You got all these people coming back in the mix, and then I think you got the Jey Uso Cody friendship there that turns into them having a rivalry with one another for Cody to win the World Heavyweight title.
Which is where that Jey Uso turn could come in.
Could come in then.
But you also have a certain rattlesnake that has said that he might be at WrestleMania also.
Because he lives in Vegas.
Yep.
He lives in Vegas.
So, and he said he'd be in Cody's back.
Guest referee.
That'd be
Austin is a special guest referee.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Austin's a fun follow.
What day is Mania this year?
The 19th and the 20th.
Yep.
Of April.
Easter Sunday.
I literally got booked for a show. I literally 10 minutes before I came on here got booked for a show in Pensacola on the 19th. I'll have to watch it the next day, I guess.
And Pensacola is a beautiful city.
It's a nice part of Florida.
It's only 7 hours from here too. I thought it'd be it's only a 7-hour drive.
Yeah, unless there's traffic and you have to go through Chattanooga and take highway or Interstate 59 down there. Yep. Then it turns into 12 hours.
Speaking from first-hand experience.
As long as you can go 65, you're good.
And Chad, 7 hours driving in a car. If we got to drive over 4 hours, we're flying.
Well, that's why we're having to film this podcast when we are right now, because tomorrow night I have me and the owner of Trouble Spirits are driving a U-Haul from Nashville to West Palm Beach, Florida.
Why a U-Haul?
Because he's taking the rest of their stuff. They have some stuff left up here for when they moved at his father-in-law's house. So we're taking the rest of that stuff down there, and then
shout out Trouble Spirits.
Yeah, and then we're getting watching 4 spring training games in 3 days.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of baseball coming in.
I'm excited about that. Baseball season right around the corner.
Oh man, it's so great.
Let's go Yankees. Hopefully
I get to see the Yankees play while I'm down there.
That's dope.
Hopefully I get to see
me a Judge autograph. I'll be your best friend forever.
I'll see what I can do. I'll be like, hey, bro, you've watched the show? It's me.
Yeah, man, come on.
Don't you know?
So we'll swap autographs. Oh man.
Well, episode 103, fellas.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Look forward to next week's episode.
Yes. Hopefully hopefully next week's episode will be our 2024 movie episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
get that done. And then we'll be bouncing back probably with more stuff, obviously wrestling wise. So just stay tuned with all that.
Oh yeah,
it's Mania season.
Me and Blind Fury's album available now.
Go get it. Banger.
Be sure to go grab that. And I appreciate everybody, bro.
Yeah, thank y'all. Thank you to the sponsors, Revolution One Media, Trouble Spirits. You can see little Mean Gene holding up Chance's mic right there. But yeah, we appreciate all y'all subscribe, share us around, all that jazz. Until next time, we out this motherfucker.
Oh. legends you remember from the ring and silver screen.